Hey guys, it's Kelo here with Encharge.io, and what I have opened here is my content calendar, and this is basically where all the content organization magic happens. This is the process I use to manage, publish posts with and promote posts with hundreds of shares and thousands of views. So before I walk you through that template that you can download from the Airtable universe, for those of you that are not familiar with Airtable, Airtable is something like Google Spreadsheets on steroids, but while Google Spreadsheets is more oriented towards visualizing data, Airtable is a database, so it's a repository platform. So storing data and working with data is much smoother and more reliable than Google Spreadsheets. And before going into too much details about Airtable, I'll just mention the three main features that Airtable have and has, and it's different from Google Spreadsheet. And the first one is the view option, so you can have for the same sheet you can have a number of different views. You can have the regular view, which is the grid view. You can have a Kanban view, which is something like Trello. Then you can have a calendar view and a gallery view. The other big feature is the option to sort and group products based on different characteristics. For example, you can group rows, let's say based on the status. Then you can see three groups in my case. I did to do an editing. And the third one is the option to link different different sources from different tabs on your table. But in this case, since I'm not using that on the content calendar template, I won't go into explaining what that is. Okay, so first of all, I have the Kanban view is the main view I use, and I have a number of different stages for my content pieces. I have an idea stage, which is quite self-explanatory. If something pops on my mind, I try to get it out of my mind just to keep a clear state and just jot it down as soon as it comes to my mind. And I keep a record of all these ideas here. The next one is as soon as we decide that we're going to write a content piece, and this is something I agree with my co-founder, I drag it to do. As soon as I start writing it, for writing I use Ulysses software, but whatever you use, as soon as you create a document in Google Docs or Word or whatever, I drag that to writing. Then I have editing. For editing I use Grammarly, great software if you haven't used it. Then I have the next one is formatting, which is basically the cursive and block plots, links and things like that. Published when the post goes live on my blog. And then in the promoting stage, so guys, don't forget the marketing part in content marketing. 80% of content marketing is really going out, sharing your posts with relevant communities, creating content upgrades, um, generating leads from that content. Writing the content, it's just probably about 20% of the work, maybe a bit more, but anyway, it's marketing is really what content marketing is all about. So I have the promoting column, which is probably the most important stage, as I just explained. And once I'm finished with everything, I just drop it to the promoted, the last tab. Okay, so this is for the status, for the different stages in my content calendar. And in terms of data I record for each post, now in Airtable you can expand a single record and see what I have here. As a main column I use the the post title, but you can use ID if you have too many posts or they have relatively similar titles. You might go with an ID. I also use an ID. And if you work with bigger content teams, just having an ID to refer to is much easier. So you can use the in Airtable you can use the auto number field, or just basically copy paste my template, which is available on the Airtable universe. Then I have the type of the content piece, and now a lot of guys, when it comes to content marketing, they believe writing posts is the only way of doing content marketing, but in reality I'd say I got my best results from writing ebooks, creating free resources, and project is basically anything that requires some other work than writing. It could be an HTML document, a gallery of things. It could involve some development and things like that. Description, again, quite self-explanatory. I just in a couple of sentences describe what the content piece is going to be about. Then some notes about it. Status, I went over that already. Completion date, then that's the expected completion date of the project. Cover image if it's a blog post. Assets you can attach especially if you work with a team. You might like to attach all of the relevant images, audio or video files here. Link to publish material, and by the way, I'm going to just update that with the recent link of that post. Just bear with me for a second. Here it is. So let's have it here. Expected effort in days. And this is something I use to decide what's the next content piece I like to work on. Usually I go with the easiest one to create, that I expect to have the biggest impact on my goals. And goals, I've already discussed in my idea to exit blog post about the importance of having goals, especially when you're working on a shoestring budget. It's really crucial to have to be lean and as effective as possible. So defining what effectiveness does mean to you is probably the starting point when it comes to writing your content and deciding what you want to write. And then once the post goes to promoted, so once I'm done with everything, I try to attribute the end results of that post, which might be quite hard with content marketing, to be frank, and I assume it's something you also stumbled. It's just very difficult to contribute the exact results, but at least you can try your best and see how the post went. And last but not least, if you work with a team, in Airtable you can assign a contributor for that specific post. So that's about it. Then I have another tab which is promotion specific tab. As I already mentioned, promotion is the most important thing about content marketing. So I have a separate tab for each new content piece where I keep the promotion activities listed. And that view is much simpler. I just list the activities that I have to do in terms of promoting that post, whether I'm doing them at the moment or whether they're done. So that's it in a nutshell. Just the idea is to be very specific about what you're going to do to promote that post. And again, what are the expected results of that specific action, and did you achieve them or did you not achieve them. And if you work with other people on promoting that post, you can also uh, uh, link them as collaborators. So that's it, guys. Hope you find it useful. Content marketing is tough, but it's really one of the best ways to generate leads, traffic, build your brand, especially if you're not a venture funded company. Content is something that stacks up in the long run. It's not like a paid acquisition, and there's nothing wrong with paid acquisition, by the way, but with content you have the long-term benefit, you have the SEO benefits, you have the brand awareness benefits, and obviously the benefit of generating leads that you can later nurture. So hope you find it useful. Let me know what you think. You can always send me an email at hello@encharge.io. Feel free to copy that template, or if you don't use Airtable, which by the way I strongly encourage you to do, Airtable is amazing, but if you don't use it, you can always recreate that template in a Google spreadsheet with obviously some drawbacks and some limitations in terms of features, but you can do that. So yeah, hope you like it and looking forward to connecting with you.